Everyone ages eventually, but the journey into old age isn't always as graceful or gentle as we'd like to think. Behind the smiles of our seniors lies a quiet reality, one that rarely gets talked about, even by those living it. It's not just about illness or wrinkles, it's about subtle changes in behavior, moods, and habits that slowly begin to emerge. Maybe you've noticed your aging parents becoming more withdrawn, more irritable, or distancing themselves from others, but you never truly understood why. What's really happening as they grow older? Why do they change in ways no one warned you about? Most of us only notice the visible signs of aging: grey hair, a slower walk, or a fading voice. But beneath the surface lies something far deeper: emotional, psychological, and even spiritual shifts that are often difficult to express and quietly endured. Their world grows quieter, simpler, yet internally more complex. Ironically, many of these changes aren't made by choice. They're a response to time's inevitable push. And sadly, not everyone around them is sensitive enough to see it or understand. In this video, we'll reveal 12 unpleasant things seniors often do or go through as they age. Things no one teaches you in school, no one writes in books, and rarely are spoken aloud. But that's exactly why we need to talk about them, so we can better understand our aging loved ones, so we can grow older ourselves with more awareness and grace, and most importantly, so they, the parents and grandparents we hold dear, won't feel so alone in one of the most honest and vulnerable chapters of their lives. Let's begin. As people enter their senior years, one of the most invisible yet profound changes is the tendency to withdraw from social life. Many older adults begin to skip family gatherings, decline social invitations, or even avoid simply stepping outside. It's not that they don't want to socialize, it's just that they no longer feel in sync with the pace of a world that keeps moving faster. There's a kind of exhaustion that's hard to explain. Activities that were once enjoyable, like chatting with friends or joining community events, now feel emotionally draining. Their bodies aren't as strong, their minds take longer to process things, and there's often a lingering fear of becoming a burden, all of which makes staying home feel like the safest choice. Unfortunately, those around them often misunderstand. When seniors begin declining invitations or become less active in social circles, it can come across as cold or indifferent. But behind that quiet withdrawal is often an emotional struggle, a battle between the desire to stay connected and the reality of limited energy. There's also the pain of loss. Many of their peers have passed away or are no longer able to keep in touch. Their social circle shrinks, and they're left feeling like no one truly gets them anymore. This creates a deep loneliness, even when they're surrounded by family. Withdrawing doesn't mean they don't need us. In fact, it's during these times that a simple presence, a short visit, a warm greeting, or just listening can mean the world. Because behind the silence, they are still human, longing to be seen, heard, and loved. As people age, emotional sensitivity often increases significantly. Small things that once seemed trivial can now feel upsetting or even hurtful. A casual comment might be misunderstood, and a well-meaning joke can unexpectedly sting. This doesn't mean seniors are becoming weak. Rather, they are going through natural emotional changes. Hormonal shifts, poor sleep quality, and physical discomfort can all affect emotional stability. An aging body, a mind constantly adjusting to life changes, and a creeping sense of loneliness. All of these contribute to a heightened emotional response. Life experience also plays a major role. Seniors carry decades of memories, old wounds, and painful lessons that aren't always visible. Sometimes, when someone says something harmless, those words can unintentionally reopen emotional scars from the past. Life experience also plays a major role. Seniors carry decades of memories, old wounds, and painful lessons that aren't always visible. Sometimes, when someone says something harmless, those words can unintentionally reopen emotional scars from the past. Unfortunately, many people around them fail to notice this. They may label an elderly person's sensitivity as stubbornness or unwillingness to compromise. But often, behind that reaction is a longing to feel understood, valued, and seen, even in old age. Recognizing that irritability can be a normal part of aging helps us become more patient and compassionate in our interactions. Instead of reacting with frustration, respond with empathy. Sometimes, all they really need is genuine attention and acknowledgement that their feelings are valid. As people grow older, they often feel they've seen and experienced enough in life to know what's best. With years of lessons behind them, they've developed strong perspectives on right and wrong. Unfortunately, this wisdom can sometimes come across as being overly critical, especially toward younger generations. They might make sharp remarks about someone's clothing, lifestyle choices, career paths, or even parenting styles. While their intention is often to help or show concern, the delivery can feel harsh or judgmental, causing tension and misunderstanding within families or communities. It's important to understand that this criticism doesn't always stem from a negative place. Many seniors genuinely want to share their life lessons because they understand that time is limited and want to leave behind something meaningful. But when that advice is offered without empathy or at the wrong moment, it can push others away. Often, this critical behavior is rooted in fear. As the world changes rapidly and long-held values begin to shift, some seniors feel left behind or out of control. Criticism becomes a way to feel involved, relevant, or to reassert their place in a changing society. What we can do is learn to listen with an open heart. And for seniors, it's equally important to remember that sharing wisdom doesn't always mean correcting others. Sometimes, simply being present and accepting is more powerful than any advice. As people grow older, physical and mental changes become not just noticeable, but undeniable. Vision starts to blur, hearing becomes less sharp, and the body slows down. Yet, many seniors resist acknowledging that they're experiencing decline. They're reluctant to wear hearing aids, avoid using canes, and may insist on driving even when their eyesight or reaction time is no longer safe. It's not simply stubbornness, it's a quiet struggle to accept that their once strong body is changing. For many older adults, admitting weakness isn't just about health, it's about pride and identity. Using a cane or a wheelchair often feels like a symbol of helplessness. There's a fear that others will start treating them differently, not as respected individuals with wisdom and experience, but as fragile people who always need help. Deep down, there's a fear that admitting their limitations will strip them of the role they've held all their lives. The strong one, the caretaker, the dependable figure. Even more, many seniors fear becoming a burden to their families. They hide their pain, refuse assistance, and pretend everything is fine. Even when they struggle to catch their breath on the stairs or feel pain in their joints while walking, they'll often smile and say, "I'm okay. It's nothing." It's not just denial, it's love. They want to protect their loved ones from worry, and they want to keep their dignity intact. However, this mindset can backfire. Refusing treatment or medical devices can lead to faster physical decline. More importantly, it can create emotional distance between seniors and their families. Children may feel frustrated by their parents' resistance to help, while parents feel misunderstood or even disrespected. Communication becomes strained, even though what's really needed is empathy and the courage to speak honestly about growing older. It's important to remember, acknowledging weakness is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength. It takes real courage to say, "I need help." And accepting help doesn't mean losing independence, it means adapting in a way that preserves quality of life, comfort, and dignity. Aging isn't about giving up, it's about embracing who you are now with grace and compassion. As people age, many seniors begin to build highly structured and rigid daily patterns. They wake up at the same time every day, eat the same meals, watch the same TV shows, and follow the same schedule with little to no variation. This routine isn't just habit. It becomes a comfort zone, a place where they feel the most in control and secure. At an age when everything else around them seems to be changing too fast, children growing up, technology advancing, and friends slowly disappearing, their routine becomes a form of stability in an otherwise unpredictable world. However, what appears to be a sign of discipline can sometimes become an invisible prison. Seniors who rely too heavily on routines often resist change, even when the change could be positive. For example, being invited to visit a new place or try a new hobby might be met with an immediate refusal, not because they aren't capable, but simply because it's not what they're used to. Fear of the unknown is a major factor. They might worry they won't be able to adapt, that they'll fail, or that they simply don't have the mental energy for new things. What was once exciting in youth may now feel threatening and exhausting. As a result, their world can gradually become smaller. Even though they may live in the same house or neighborhood, their inner world begins to shrink, limited to clocks, familiar foods, and daily rituals. This isn't just a missed opportunity for new experiences, but it can also have a negative impact on mental health. A monotonous routine with no variation or stimulation can lead to boredom, loneliness, and even depression. When there's nothing new to look forward to, nothing that sparks curiosity or joy, the will to fully engage with life can begin to fade without notice. On the other hand, we need to understand that this attachment to routine often stems from a much deeper emotional need, the need for safety. Routines provide the feeling that something in life can still be controlled, even if the body is weakening or memory isn't as sharp as before. When a person feels like they've lost so many things, a career, their role in the family, even physical independence, routine becomes the one thing they can still hold on to tightly. So instead of labeling it as stubbornness, we should recognize it as a quiet form of self-protection. That's why, if we want to help older adults gently step out of their comfort zones, we need to do it with empathy, not by forcing them into something unfamiliar, but by accompanying them. It could be as simple as walking a slightly different route in the morning, cooking an old recipe they've never tried before, or watching a classic movie together and talking about it. Little by little, routines can be enriched rather than broken. That way, they can continue to feel safe, but also feel truly alive. As people grow older and their roles in the family or workplace begin to fade, many seniors start to feel a deep sense of lost purpose. Those who were once active in their careers, the backbone of their families, or respected figures in their communities suddenly feel as though their presence no longer matters. It's not just a passing feeling. For many, it becomes a quiet emotional wound. This sense of uselessness often starts subtly. It can begin with small things, like no longer being asked for their opinions, or being left out of family decisions. Over time, they begin to withdraw, believing that their time has passed and they have nothing more to offer. The truth is, their wisdom and life experience are more valuable than ever, but they don't always feel that way. Most elderly people won't say it out loud. They tend to hide their loneliness and disappointment behind polite smiles. They don't want to seem needy or become a burden to their loved ones. But inside, the sense of lost meaning continues to grow. For many, what hurts more than physical aging is the feeling of no longer being appreciated. That's why it's so important to keep them involved in everyday life. Ask for their advice, talk to them, ask about their past. Even just sitting together in silence can be powerful. These simple actions send a message that they still matter, that their presence still holds value. Aging doesn't mean someone stops having something to give. In fact, the elderly often carry profound wisdom and perspective that younger generations can learn from. Don't let your loved ones feel like they're just passing the time. Make them a part of your life, because feeling appreciated is one of the greatest human needs, no matter your age. Many seniors tend to stay silent when they feel pain, shortness of breath, or other health complaints. They don't always speak up or seek help, even when their bodies are clearly in distress. This is often not because they don't feel it, but because they've grown used to enduring discomfort, viewing it as a normal part of aging. There's also a deep-rooted fear of becoming a burden to their families. Many elderly individuals don't want to trouble their children, who they know are already busy with work and responsibilities. As a result, they delay treatment, hide symptoms, and may even avoid sharing medical results. Unfortunately, this can lead to worsened health conditions and delayed care when it's needed most. As family or loved ones, it's crucial to create a safe and empathetic environment where seniors feel comfortable opening up. Ask about their health regularly, not just as small talk, but with genuine concern. Emotional support and consistent attention can help them feel less alone and more willing to share what they're going through. For many seniors, the modern digital world feels foreign and overwhelming. The rapid shift from landlines to smartphones, from letters to emails, from physical stores to online shopping, creates a gap between older generations and today's fast-paced tech culture. Fear of pressing the wrong button, of being hacked, or simply of looking foolish often leads them to avoid technology rather than try to learn it. The truth is, most seniors are not incapable of learning. They just need a more patient, respectful approach that doesn't make them feel small or outdated. Unfortunately, many families lack the time or patience to teach them in a way that suits their pace. As a result, older adults often fall further behind, feeling left out of a world that's become fully digital, even disconnected from their own children and grandchildren. What's truly unfortunate is that rejecting technology can prevent them from experiencing things that could actually enrich their lives. A video call with a grandchild, access to important health information, or joining an online community could bring real joy and connection. So instead of pushing or judging, let's guide them gently and lovingly, helping them see that technology isn't the enemy, but a bridge that brings generations closer together. As people grow older, many seniors begin to think about death, not as something terrifying, but as a reality that must be faced with calm acceptance. They realize that their time on Earth is no longer as long as it once was, and this makes them reflect more often on the life they've lived and how to make peace with its eventual end. These thoughts often come quietly, late at night, or when they see their peers pass away one by one. Sadly, most of them don't share these thoughts with their loved ones. They fear being seen as negative, or worse, being dismissed. But thinking about death doesn't mean giving up. It's often a sign that they are seeking deeper meaning and clarity. It's an honest part of aging that, when met with empathy, can actually strengthen relationships. Contemplating the end of life often shifts their focus to what truly matters: peace, family connections, and the values they hope to leave behind. Many become more spiritual or religious, not out of fear, but out of a desire to prepare themselves with a calm and grateful heart. If we can understand this side of aging, we won't just bring them comfort. We'll also learn to become wiser, more compassionate human beings. As people age, many seniors begin to feel that taking care of their appearance is no longer a priority. They may quietly wonder, why bother dressing up? Who even cares anymore? Simple things like brushing their hair, wearing neat clothes, or going for a morning walk may start to feel meaningless, as if the world no longer notices them. However, this loss of motivation often goes beyond the physical. It reflects deeper emotional and mental states. Feelings of loneliness, the loss of a spouse, retirement, or no longer feeling needed can slowly chip away at one's desire to look and feel good. In many cases, it's an early sign of stress, anxiety, or even mild depression that goes unnoticed. Yet, self-care isn't just about looks. It's about dignity and quality of life. Small acts like grooming in the morning or wearing a favorite outfit can significantly lift one's mood. When a senior feels worthy of looking good, it sends a powerful message. They are still valuable and they still deserve happiness. As we age, our brain's functions naturally begin to slow down. Many seniors start forgetting little things, where they place their keys, repeating the same stories, or struggling to remember someone they just met. It's not always a sign of something serious like dementia. Often, it's just a normal part of aging. Still, for many older adults, this forgetfulness can be frustrating and even a little frightening. What often happens is they hesitate to admit their memory is slipping. There's a sense of embarrassment, a fear of being labeled as senile, or a worry about losing control over their own lives. Because of this, many seniors try to hide their forgetfulness by making jokes, changing the subject, or even blaming others. But in truth, being open about it could help them receive the support and care they truly need, whether from family members or health professionals. As loved ones, we need to be more sensitive, without making them feel judged. Sometimes, what they need isn't correction, but understanding. Greet them with kindness, help them feel respected even if their memory isn't as sharp as it used to be. After all, one day, we'll all reach that same stage of life. And when we do, we'll want to be treated with love, not just corrected. As people age, many seniors tend to repeat stories from their past, whether it's about their youth, life struggles, or the simple moments that left a mark on their hearts. While younger listeners may see it as mere repetition, for seniors, those memories are not just recollections. They are proof that their lives once held deep meaning and purpose. Revisiting the past becomes their way of holding on to a time when they felt strong, needed, and deeply loved. Each story they tell is a bridge connecting them to the parts of life that made them feel alive. And in many cases, those stories are their only way to stay connected to a world that now often feels distant and quiet. Sadly, many of us lack the patience to listen, but by simply giving them our attention, we offer more than just kindness. We give them a sense of being valued and remembered. Because at the end of the day, what most seniors truly long for is this: to be heard and not forgotten. Aging is not just about wrinkles or graying hair, it's a journey toward wisdom, acceptance, and transformation. But behind all that, there are hidden truths, feelings of loneliness, loss of purpose, and certain behaviors that may seem strange, but are actually ways of coping with a changing reality. When we begin to understand the unpleasant sides of growing older, we learn to appreciate and love the elderly around us, not out of pity, but with genuine empathy. So, if you have parents, grandparents, or elderly friends, don't just look at them from the outside. Listen to their stories, embrace their imperfections, and be present in their world that may be slowly shrinking. Because in the later years of life, the most valuable gift isn't wealth, it's sincere attention and presence. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next inspiring video with us at Elderly Rise.